Welcome to another episode of the Group Parlay podcast. As always, Kevin Soy and Andy Semo. Nick Strom is not potting today. He's going to the Winter Classic. So good for him and good for the boys last night. Back to back. We feel much better, much more confident. And it was a great day of watching sports. All of the games were close, tight, and we came out on top. So I'll let Kev recap yesterday's glorious, glorious day.
Yeah, another fun one. We'll start with the early game, the bowl game for Andy's pick of Mizzou money line. Just a back and forth kind of shootout, which was crazy. Everyone was predicting this game to be like 13-10 or something with Iowa's defense, but turns out Mizzou's defense was not looking good. They couldn't tackle. They kept letting up touchdowns, but they kept persevering. This is what Brady Cook did. He's low-key a Mizzou legend. A great record. Kid was tough and semi-talented, but kid had heart. And 27-24 final there. Beautiful game. Beautiful way to end his career.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out Brady Cook. He was a real leader on Mizzou's team.
Yeah, and shout out Blake Craig. Guy had a lot of misses this year from inside 40, and then he drills a 51 and 56 yarder. He might have a big career coming the rest of his time here.
True.
So. True. Nice win there. And then we went to Bulls -3.5 for myself. Was floating around the number for the most part. They would get a big lead and then give it up after starting terribly. They could not make a three. It was insane, and this is what the Bulls do. They just rip threes. They shot 18 for 60 from three and somehow still won this game. We hit overtime. Well, they could have covered in the last couple seconds. Vooch missed 2 free throws. They just could not get a point to get the number. Miles Bridges had an unreal 3 to push overtime, which he doesn't even shoot threes many. Go to overtime and they take care of business. Cruise a victory, and they won by 7 in overtime. So covered the number there in a fun one.
Please trade Kobe White.
Kobe had some bad shots yesterday. Bad shots. I like Kobe though. And then Lions -3 for Strom. And this is kind of like the Mizzou game, like just back and forth shootout. Defenses could not do anything. A couple big interceptions for the Lions. Gibbs had a great game. They had some great. Ben Johnson had a great game. Some sick plays. The catch to Amon-Ra and flip it to Williams for the touchdown. That was sick. 40-34 final there. Just beautiful to cash the parlay. So a +399, pretty similar number we had the day before. Got us down to 17 units, and we got one parlay left. I'm 16-12, Andy 15-13, Nick's 12-15-1. I mean, we've had months where we're all positive and have better numbers than this, and now we're hitting parlays. Nick's 12-15-1, and we're cashing them. So it's just all about being in the same wavelength, hitting at the same time. It's all parlay gambling.
Yeah. It's kind of like we can go on stretches where everyone's hitting, but they're all hitting at different times, and which has pretty much been this entire month, to be honest with, at least the full first half of the month and last month too. So you just had to know the tide was going to turn eventually.
100%.
So, but we get on to today. Some great games on. Good bowl games on today. Couple outdoor hockey games as well, which is just fantastic. So, let's get into the picks, and it's gonna be a good sports day. So I'll start with Strom's. He's going Connor Bedard 1+ points. So all Connor Bedard needs to do is hit 1 point. He's had a point in 4 straight. Primetime game, first Winter Classic for him, being 19 years old. He's really going to try and show out, Strom thinks. He's been much better in December. He scored 15 points in 14 games and has scored a point in 9 of 14 in December. He's been on a real hot streak for the Hawks, so look for that to continue against the Blues. He's the trigger guy for the Hawks. So if they're going to score at all, it usually runs through him at some capacity. So all we need is a goal or an assist from him, and we cash this.
I don't love this pick just because he's going to the
I
game and
don't
like
love it.
forced to pick on the game, but
No, I don't. I don't. The Blues, they got a solid defense. Divisional game. They usually play us tough. Their goaltenders are fine.
I could see an assist.
I hope.
We just don't
It's a
score a lot
coin
of
flip. It's really
goals.
a coin flip pick. It's a true coin flip pick. That's what
Yeah,
hockey points are, unless you're taking like Connor McDavid.
for sure.
So
All right.
we'll see. You want to go, Kev?
Yeah, I had to go to the big game, and I'm not overthinking it. We're going Penn State -8.5. Moving this line to 8.5 is crucial. I would still like 9.5, but getting into that 10 spot, I think will be big. But we saw these teams blowing out their inferior opponents in the first round of the playoffs. I think we're going to see some more of that today. Boise State is just, they're not a real school, to say it nicely. They don't play good competition. They did keep Oregon close in the beginning of the season, but this game is all Ashton Genty. That's all it is. And Penn State has a really good defense. Their defense is ranked fourth. I believe their rushing defense was ranked seventh. They only give up 100 rushing yards a game, and they know what their game plan is. They are going to be all over this kid. They're going to stack the box. I don't think they're going to be scared of the Boise State deep ball. Um, I'm just taking the much better team here. They could blow them out easily, but even if they don't, I think Penn State should cover an 8.5.
Yeah, I like this just because I think the talent disparity on these two teams is vastly different. Um,
Right.
Penn State, like, yeah, they have James Franklin who loses the big game a lot, but offensively and defensively, Penn State is much better than Boise State. Their offense, like people discounting that tight end Warren that they got is awesome. Um, they have Drew Aller's a great quarterback. Like they're a good squad.
Yeah, they've been putting up a lot of points on offense. Their last couple of games, 38 versus SMU. They lost against Oregon, but they put up 37, 44 in Maryland, whatever. But they've been putting up numbers almost every game.
Yeah. So yeah, I like this as just not an overthink pick. I hope Boise State wins just for the upset factor. I love Ashton Genty, but I just don't see it in the cards.
Yeah, I mean, if I lose this pick, I hope Boise State wins outright.
And I hope we lose an earlier game, but
Yeah,
it's not a last leg loss.
right.
So I'm sticking with college football, but I'm going to a little earlier game. I'm going Baylor -2.5 against LSU in the Kinder Texas Bowl. This game's in Houston. I don't think that actually matters that much, even though Baylor's in Texas. LSU fans, they travel well. They're one of the top, tailgating and traveling fan bases. But Baylor, they have 5 guys out due to the transfer portal, and really only one, maybe 2 are starters. LSU has 15 guys out preparing for the draft or in the transfer portal, and a lot of starters, including their top 2 offensive linemen, Will Campbell and Emory Jones, their top tight end, Mason Taylor, their top wideout, Kyron Lacey, and their top safety. Actually, their 3 top safeties are out today. They are going to be missing a lot of players. The other thing I love about this, Baylor's offense, top 40 in rushing and passing. Very balanced. They average 34 points a game. Granted, they don't play an SEC schedule, but 34 points a game is a lot. Garrett Nussmeier, solid quarterback for LSU, but he's a gunslinger. He's turnover prone. He's thrown 11 picks this year. And Baylor, they average over an interception a game on defense. They can turn the ball over, and they rank 9th in fumbles recovered also on defense. So I think the balanced offense of Baylor, they're not down a ton of guys, starters especially, and LSU just having literal a full hat or a full side of the football being out basically, 15 guys. That's going to be a lot to overcome against Baylor. So Baylor to win by a field goal, baby.
Yeah, just the fact that Baylor's favorite. I was wondering what was up with that. Assumed that they don't have many guys playing. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
This Robertson guy for Baylor, I mean, he's been really good. 26 touchdowns, only 7 picks. Running back over 1,000 yards for 12 touchdowns. They're a solid squad.
Yeah,
So,
and Baylor has a lot of guys that don't go pro, so they're out there playing and with pride, and it means more to them
actually,
here
I
in
think
a
I
kind of
saw
an exhibition game.
Baylor's getting like a starting linebacker and starting quarterback back this week. they were out the last couple games and they're getting them back. So
Love it.
yeah. All right. So to recap our picks, Penn State -8.5 at -146, Baylor -2.5 at -140, and then Connor Bedard 1+ point at -145 comes out to +384 for today's parlay. Starts at 2:30.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. It's another day of one game at a time, which I love.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. So, all right, let's get it.
Let's get it.